Welcome to the Freedom Property Podcast, the modern real estate brand empowering excellence. All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with Tonksy. I'm going to say this. You have definitely been the most request guest onto the show. Mr. Tomas Tonks-Foote, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
How you going? Thank you, brother. Thank you. I think I've been holding out. You know what I mean? Save the best to last.
Well, you're not last.
We're getting close.
It's not the last ever episode, bro.
No, it's not. Definitely not. But I think there's been a number of agents here. I think some have even gone since we started this. So
well, let's not get into that.
No, It's been a bit of an interesting year so far, but it's been cool.
Yeah, we'll try to keep this a little bit PG, hey?
Keep PG. I'll do my best. I'll try.
Just to try and make it a little bit more difficult for you, you said if we ever did a podcast together, and it is Friday, so I thought let's have a...
yes, my boy.
We're having a whiskey.
See? There you go.
So
this is why I said
we haven't done this yet on the show, you know. We're gonna have a drink to celebrate. I don't even know how I feel about
there's no ice.
Straight whiskey.
It's great. You just don't try and
we'll just sip it slowly. Much. I'm not a huge drinker these days, you know.
You got the baby girl, mate.
That's it. Here you go, cool. Right? There
Save
you go.
It to special occasions.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, brother.
Welcome to the podcast show.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's actually lovely. That's brilliant. That is
high quality stuff.
Glenfiddich single malt Scotch whiskey.
Was that a gift?
It's Jake's actually. Thanks,
Jake's
Jake.
Gift? Yeah, fully stolen.
Thanks, Jake. If you're watching, I just took this straight out of his office there. Right. So yeah, this is what it's for.
Probably doing him a favour.
Special occasions.
Probably doing him a favour.
Definitely.
Seriously.
All right, well, let's get into the podcast show.
Yeah.
Tonksy, what's been going on?
Mate, I've just come back from holiday, so I got a bit of a tan, looking good, feeling good.
Yeah, definitely.
But need a bit of a refresh. Like, obviously, we used to travel overseas all the time, right? We used to get away heaps, and for me, it was always like,
where have we been?
Well, we went to Ibiza.
We've been up together.
We went to Ibiza. We used to go to Bali. We'd just take away everywhere we can. But it's been kind of awkward over the last couple of years because like I like working up to something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I love working to build this business, but it's all good to like not burn out as well. Like I want to work to something, you know, give myself 6 or 12 months and have.
Are you saying that you like to party, Tonksy?
Look,
he's a work hard, play hard type of guy.
Yeah, you got to work hard. You got to play hard. You can't do too much of one or the other. I think you start falling apart. But
absolutely. But you are a hard worker, so you do deserve to party hard sometimes too.
Yeah,
you know?
and I'm getting older now. I'm trying to get a beard. It's coming through. It's not looking that great, but
it's looking good.
It's getting there. You know,
we've known each other a long time, haven't we?
We have. Well, since I was like 18. I think it's like 9-10 years now.
Is that when you started real estate? 18.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go back there.
Yeah.
Let's go back there for the audience. So, what did you do before real estate? Did you do anything?
I left school.
Yeah.
I went to be, I always say this one, it's a bit of a, but my old man was a diesel fitter. And since I was younger, every single holiday that I went on, I'd at least work like a week or try to work for a week with him. But, you know, diesel fitting's it's a very good trade. You got to be skilled. And unfortunately, I was very clumsy and shocking working with anything tool related. I'd be causing way more drama. Dad, if you're listening, I'd be causing way more drama than I would any good on the tools. Hey, and one day I came out, I'm working on this machine and I think I've just like dropped the spanner like into this massive machine. It's like a half-day job to do and I've just made it a 2-day job, right? I've absolutely cooked it. And like he's worked, credit to him, he used to get up when I was younger from 5 a.m. to come home after dark, you know, and he started his own business and driving around the truck, then had a business with like 20 people on board and done really, really well. But I've just done this on this day and I've absolutely cooked it. And he comes out and he's wearing a polo and he's just come out of the office and he's talking to a client and this client looks like a very respected individual and, you know, he's selling what he's doing. And I was like, I'm no good at this. I don't want to be doing this, right? And I looked at that and I was like, I want to be getting in front of people. And it was like a clicking moment for me. And then from there, I was just like, what can I do to get in front of people? Like, what's going to be the best thing to be in front of people, building relationships and I guess selling. And I got into some sales jobs, selling things at the shops. I didn't really like that. I love the selling part, but just hassling people for the reason of hassling them. Didn't feel too good. And I think real estate was I just fell into it with the Hooley team originally.
That's right. I remember you from Century 21 back in the day when we were Century 21.
It was just after. I just started when it was like brand new Freedom. So
oh, wow. Was it?
A new brand. Yep.
Oh,
Century
true.
21 that
there
just
you
ended.
go. All right. Well, so what's that, like 11 years then?
Getting close.
Yeah.
Getting close.
So you were a trainee like 11 years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
10.
And that was for Hooley.
That was for Hooley.
That would have been pretty fun, eh?
Yeah, he's such a mad dog. I love Hooley.
Oh, absolutely.
He's such a funny character. Like, we used to have the home offices then. I don't think there was a single Freedom office. And I remember you talking about Alex, working in your garage there at the stage. But like working in Hooley, you had this little office set up and it was no bigger than this podcast room and there was 3 of us.
Yeah.
You got to imagine Hooley's loud, like on the phones and everything, he's going on. I'd try to do an impression, but I'd just embarrass myself and him if I did that now. But
we'll get Hooley on the show sooner or later.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Be so funny. But, him and Christine are just so funny. And I'm trying to make calls and they're both loud. They're both Geordies. And I'm like, it was a good environment to learn in though.
Oh, yeah.
Because like he's listening to everything that I'm saying. And mate, to be honest, I'd come in at about 8:30 and I'd be leaving at 9 o'clock with about 200 letters and I'd be going and door knocking, every house in Thornlands for the next 2 years from 9 to 5. So
yeah, that was a good apprenticeship. Like that was old school real estate, eh? Like we still do a part of that these days, like the out there meeting new people, like knocking on their doors and cold calling them and whatnot. But that was like back in the day, that's all we used to do, eh? When we got started, like it was prospecting like 24/7.
Baby-faced 18-year-old knocking on your door and asking, "Do you want to sell your house?" Just be like, "Get out of here, eh?" And a little green tie on.
Not a lot's changed then.
No, not much. Like I said, just trying to get some facial hair. But, it was just like, get out of here. But what I learned from that was, like, that's the best lesson. Like, door knocking, I think, if you're a new agent, if you want to get really good at building relationships with people quick, is go and door knock on some doors because you're like meeting all walks of life. Yeah,
and you handle that rejection thing, eh? Because you're like, you need pretty thick skin in real estate because, you're getting, get out of my face, leave me alone, stop calling me like all the time.
Right?
Yeah, like, definitely.
So, because you don't know what you're walking into. And that's another lesson as well. It's like perspective. Like when you're younger, you're like, well, no, stuff you. You know what I mean? You can't do that. And as you get older, you realize like, you're knocking on this person's door. You're entering you're entering their life right now. And, they could be having the worst possible day. Yeah. Worst possible day. And you've just happened to knock on the door. And unfortunately, you're just Johnny on the spot and they're not happy right now and you're just going to catch the bruise of that. But it's an important lesson because you're going to meet people.
Real estate agent?
Seriously. Mate. I've got a reason to hate you.
Absolutely.
But, it's important you learn that real quick. And, then it gets easier there from there, I think, if you can nail that.
So you were the trainee for the Hoolies, and then when was the moment where you were like, I'm getting into sales myself?
I think just before I turned 21, it was like I've been with him since I was 18 and just door knocking, and it was always like training me to get to that point. Like I'm not just going to say I door knocked all the time. Like I did, but as soon as I bring an opportunity in, he'd bring me into a listing presentation appraisal. And I learned a lot from that as well. So It was like the reward-based to that too. So it was a good introduction. And eventually I got to about 20 and had the aspirations, definitely keen to go out and start on my own. And then unfortunately he left. And I was like, all right, well, this is the opportunity. Hooley went to another company for some time there. I'm not too sure how that all went down, but he's back. That's the main part. But
But you, I remember when he left and then because you were like, oh, no, I'm not going to this other company, and you stayed with Freedom, and then you were in sales by yourself. And I remember because you were pretty young and you picked up this real sick listing. It was like a block of land.
Yeah. It was a $2 million block of land on Taylor Road.
Back then as well, that's like selling like a $5 million block of land right now.
In like a recovery market when no one wants to buy anything, let alone a $2 million block of land.
Yeah, you were like, I got this block of land. I was just like, good luck with it, mate.
I've only just got over saying that. Bragging about that one. But
you sold it though. Hey, you sold it pretty quickly and a good price. And I was just like, wow, go on. And then I think you, because a trainee, you earn a certain wages, and then like you made that wage like in like one deal or something, didn't you? And then
which is good and bad.
Yeah, definitely like for you at the time 21, it was.
Like the problem I had was Hooley had gone and I'd been out on my own, and I started thinking I had it figured out, right? You do something for long enough, you start getting good at things, but you're letting good get in the way of great. Then you have a decent amount of money come through from a $2 million sale, and you're 20, you're 21. You don't really think about the smart ways you can invest in your business. You're thinking about, what can I do with this money? How can I burn it as quickly as possible? And it was an important lesson on its own.
Definitely.
Like, I think that's a very important lesson for me, going, all right, well, that's how quickly these things go. And, you haven't got to figure it out. You haven't got to figure it out, which is a lesson we constantly have to relearn too.
Yeah, but it's this journey that you've had in real estate. It's a pretty cool one to see where you are now, because you did that. You made a couple of sales, and I remember, I think you were in sales for what, like a year and a half or something.
6 months to a year on my own, and then I was
because you weren't with us at the time. Hey, we were with Freedom, but you did your own thing from home, or there was another office you did it from. I can't remember, and we had our office over here, didn't we? And you were like thinking about nearly quitting real estate. Hey, I was like, don't you quit real estate?
Oh, it's just, I just didn't understand business.
Yeah.
I understood door knocking, and I understood real estate, that kind of stuff. But I didn't understand the business behind real estate. I understood the sales behind real estate. And I was seeing what you guys were doing, and I was getting to a point, I didn't really have a game plan. I think that was the biggest thing. I knew I had to knock on doors and make phone calls and learn to be a better negotiator, but I wasn't really setting me up for how I can be smarter with my business and how I can market and how I can get in front of people with a better approach. And it wasn't just leveraging my stuff. And so it would always be like that massive roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
And it got to a point there, I was like, oh, I love this, but this roller coaster is this sucks a little bit. You know what I mean? I just needed structure, and I think I got a couple of offers. I got a couple of offers from other guys in our office that were like, Tonks-y, come on board. I just needed the experience. I just needed the coaching. And you reached out to us, and I was like, man, to be honest, I'm a little bit lost. But
I think we cemented it with a night out, didn't we?
Down at Jupiter's Casino. That's the end and the start of everything there, eh? But
I was just like, listen, Tonks-y, let's go out. Let's have a night out together. And we had a night out. And then afterwards I was like, let's just do this, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. And you were like, all right, let's do this.
Got me when I was weak and hungover, eh?
That's it. Gotta get it committed. Closing machine.
Yeah, don't condition without control.
So got you a part of the team. And you actually, because you hadn't made a sale for a little bit there and you were about to leave real estate, I think you were doing some labouring on the side, eh?
I worked a couple of days a week labouring. I got myself a credit card. Ching. Shocking. But I did whatever I could to stay in, because I knew this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I've always known that this is what I want to do. It's just a matter of how can we make this happen?
Yeah, definitely.
What am I going to do to make sure that this, because to be honest, working with people the way we do, some people might go, you work big hours, or you work 6-7 day weeks, and you got to work open homes and stuff. But when you deal with families and people, it's not really working. You're just trying to help them make someone's life better, with their property, and leverage them to financially be better off, I guess. So it's, it was one of those things. I wanted to hang around, look at the environment we've got here.
Yeah, well, we don't have this. We didn't have this then. No. There was only 3 or 4 of us back then.
Yeah, we still had a sick environment.
Tonks-y, come on, we're building something here. And you were in, and you completely went with us on this journey. I remember your first listing with us in this team. It was that acreage property over at
well, that was the second. The first one was the one I got together. They crashed the contract on finance. I had my credit card. I paid for half the marketing with my credit card. They didn't pay me back any of the marketing.
Wow.
And I was halfway out of my credit card and no better off than when I started. And I was like, another blow, but, it's one of those things. But, we had that sick listing in Pinecone Place.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one.
And we took that one to auction and sold it straight away, and your career was off and running.
Yeah,
it was awesome, bro. It was a great start.
So, no.
Why are you in sales? Why did you get into real estate?
I pretty much nailed it before. It's just people.
Yeah.
I'm an eccentric social person, right? I bounce off other people. You know what I mean? So, in my own personal life, I'm trying to work on not relying on something that I love. I love hanging out with people. I love the energy that comes from people. It's the extrovert on me bounces off other people.
Yeah.
So, it's just trying to find a more rewarding way to it than just chatting to people and going out and doing this, or, it's how can I bring that, how can I bring value from that to other people? If I can learn a craft, which is sales and negotiating, and I can get in front of people and I can put those together. Well, I can do what I love naturally and get good at something and keep working on something as well.
Is that your favorite bit then, like putting the deal together?
It's way more than that. Like it's getting the deal in the first place, getting the listing in the first place.
Absolutely.
It's like that relationship, like that's the biggest reward. Like if anyone's, it's not hard to sell a house, especially in this market, right?
Yeah,
You've got to be a
hard
good
to get a good
negotiator.
price, for sure. But it's not hard to sell. Anyone can get an offer, can't they?
But when you're working on a relationship and you're building relationships, and it's it's got to be more than just calling up to say I'm a real estate agent. Like it's building
someone
put
their trust in you, like being like, you're our agent. We support you. You support us.
That's the biggest tie.
Yeah.
That's the biggest tie of the whole thing is when someone's going, you know what, like you've got our back. It's quite obvious that you've got our back, Josh. We want to go with you.
Yeah.
And that's like,
100%, mate. 100%.
But that comes from a lot of like, working on yourself too. You know,
definitely.
I had that before.
So been in the game for a long time now. What are the things that you find more challenging in real estate? Nothing.
Nothing. No worries,
ladies and gentlemen.
No worries. Seriously, I think that's what it is. Is not having it covered. Like trying to work on being better. Like trying to always, not get complacent with whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah.
However we're marketing, however we're approaching new vendors and buyers, and however we're negotiating or whatever it may be. I think I repeated that. But like whatever it may be, it's just not getting complacent. Like we had Nick Stewart come in, earlier and ramp us all up, really ramp up the energy. And I think for me, it's just about trying to be a better person constantly and not getting complacent with that because the rest will happen. You'll learn the rest if you want to.
Yeah, well, you've been in real estate for so long now, real estate. It's if you just got to stay consistent now because people like you, they want to do business with you. It's just about you getting through more doors and securing these relationships because you know how to put the deal together because you're one of the better negotiators in this office. So tell us about your team. So you've got yourself and you've got a new buyer manager into your team now.
Yeah. We got young Tom and he's good. He came on a few months ago. He's 18, so he's fresh. He's green to real estate and to the real world as well, I guess.
Train him our way, hey.
Yeah, but no, man, he's really cool. Like he's come aboard and he's just our people are coachable and some people are uncoachable.
Yeah.
Very coachable guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even just on other things like, which is why we were trying to be really mindful of what we're saying and do it in front of him as well because like it's so incredible. Like I'd love to be back at that age and just be that sponge of a mind.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like and that's what's important. Like even when he came in for the job interview, it was like, look, I just want to know that you want to be here.
Yeah.
And I just want to know that you're willing to, again, just get better and better every day at whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and he's doing that.
So he's on the phone to the buyers for you. What are you doing as the listing agent?
So basically just being in touch with the hottest buyers.
Yep.
Right? Like I want to be, I just want to be in front of the hottest buyers.
Yep.
Okay. I want them to know where everyone is in my database and I'll touch base with him about that. But I want to be at the inspections. I want to handle the leads at this stage. I think that's the next step in the business is having someone handle the leads, but he's not ready for that yet. And I'm not ready for handing that over yet as well. I want to make sure that everybody that comes in contact with my business gets, premium service.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure that, like I know the conversation that I'm going to have with them.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how the conversation everyone else is going to have with them. Yeah. And that's trainable, as you see with your team, but there's a certain point there and you can't just, that's not a leap of faith you can take because you got people relying on that, like your vendors and that kind of thing as well. So
it's definitely the sweetener. Like the buyer manager is definitely the first most important because you need to show that service. But if you can handle doing the listing calls and the leads, then why not? Just do them by yourself at the moment for sure.
Yeah.
So what's your goals? What are you planning? Like everyone's sitting back watching you. They're thinking, what's this guy going to do next?
Yeah. I think it's just ramping it up. Hey, like, there's no line that, over the last few years of, I don't know, I've just been 24, 25, 26-year-old in those years and done a great quarter or done a great stint. And then
but you've had good years though. Like you've had
great years.
You're doing well. Like but you make a lot of your money in, like you say, like it's a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
So if you did that like consistently.
So that's what the main goal is. And that's like putting into action. That's why Tom's in play. I've got a young Abby that comes in every now and again as well, and she's on the phone prospecting. I basically want to try to make it more that than more that. And what that means is, where's my time? Yeah, I know it's good, but where's my time? Like, I need to be in front of good vendors that I'm talking to. I need to be looking after the people that are already in my database. There's no point digging for gold when you've got it here and you just need to polish it off and look after it, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and your potential sellers or your vendors or your homeowners, right? That's the goal. We need to make sure we look after that. We need to build those relationships. No point chucking them in there and going, all right, well, let's go look for more.
Yeah.
These guys need that A1 service. Otherwise, they're not going to list their property with you.
Yeah, nice.
Right. And then, the buyers are the same. Like, the last, I've listed 6 in the last couple of weeks. And I'd say like 5 out of 6 of those have been past buyers, whether they've bought off us or whether they haven't even bought off us. Like,
yeah, lovely.
So, that's just a part of my business. I know that's important. I'm trying to make sure that my business is just really about service. My goals this year is about service. And I guess I've got personal goals as well to get fitter and just become a nicer, nice person to deal with as well, so that this all just lines up.
Oh, you just need to get you in front of the right people, bro. And go in there and do what you do. But if your clients are watching this right now, they know that when you're in front of their buyer is going to like you. Yeah. That's important. Hey, like it's as a seller, you don't want your agent to not be likable. So
have you ever tried to negotiate with someone you don't like?
Oh my God,
they're not going to get much.
Put me off of buying houses. Get much. Hey, you can't stop someone from buying a house, but you can put them off, can't you?
Like if you don't like me, and you're trying to buy something off me, and I'm trying to negotiate you up in price, you're never going to come to where you could have come to. You're never going to come, or easier. Yeah. But if you like me, because you've inquired. Yeah. You got the phone call. You've been handled really professionally. You got the content pack straight away. Yeah. You've then got followed up by a buyer manager from the team. Then you feel sent more information. In the first original meeting, I've sent you out a content pack with all the information around the property. Yeah. Right. Then I'm texting you about a reminder for an open home. Then you get to the open home. Yeah. We're professional. We're looking after you. By that time, especially when you've inquired on 5 other properties where like someone might have emailed you back. Yeah. You're gonna like me or whoever the agent is way more than anybody else.
Just doing your job, eh?
Yeah, that sounds funny because I know what's happening out there, eh? But like it is about just doing your job properly, and I find it so much easier to, your buyers do like you.
Absolutely.
Even if you are a melon, there's a lot of melons out there, but if you do your job right, like it's not that hard. People are going to respect that you looked after them. Like it's simple.
Don't you like your whiskey?
I'm just enjoying it, my friend. No need to race. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
This is maybe the longest podcast we've ever done. I see Eamon like flicking his watch at us.
I know, eh?
Well, he doesn't know that we hang out.
I know. Calm down, bro. We're having a good time over here, eh?
That's it. But look, obviously, I think what people will take from you is that real estate. It's one of those types of careers. If you stick to it for long enough, like you're always going to be okay. And you've had a bit of a roller coaster of a career. You had like these amazing 6 months, average 6 months, like brilliant quarter, like unbelievable quarter, average quarter, that you've been hanging in there and now you light the house on fire. It's just like watching your career, people wouldn't even know what's going on.
Never let them guess your next move, eh?
Yeah, definitely. But the thing is right now is that you're at a point now where you're like, all right, let's take this 150% seriously and watch what happens.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at.
And we're looking forward to seeing what happens with your career over the next few years. Obviously, we've got your sales business, but we've got some other things going on here too. So as a team, we're all going to grow.
It's so exciting to be at Freedom Property right now. It's so exciting.
Absolutely.
Like if you don't know, you should know. You know what I mean? Like it's about to just be so cool to be part of Freedom.
We're going to do some rewarding things for our agents very shortly, and that's something that we're going to drop soon. But it's exciting times. Tonksy, I'm glad you've come on the show. Even though you haven't finished your whiskey. But cheers, brother.
It's no race, brother.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate you coming in today. We'll see you on the next one.